next story is about a man some of us have seen way too much of this year. Volodymyr Zelensky. You know him. Zelensky is the president of Ukraine. And now he is also Time magazine's Person of the Year. Let's get one thing clear. This is no Nobel Peace Prize. The magazine gives this award to an event or person deemed to have had the most influence on global events. This year, Time believes that it is Zelensky. It says the decision is the most clear-cut in memory. One cannot help but ask how. The editor of this magazine celebrating Zelensky says, in a world that had come to be defined by its divisiveness, there was a coming together around this cause, around this country. The reference, obviously, is to Ukraine. First things first, the world is far from united on Ukraine. Much of the world outside Europe continues to believe that war is of Europe's making and the West's to fight. Much of the world outside Europe has not picked a side. There are also countries siding with Russia, the likes of China, Iran, Venezuela. So the whole coming together around this cause is far from the truth, which makes the very ground on this award shaky. Also, we cannot help but ask, does Zelensky really deserve this tag of Person of the Year? Like I mentioned before, it's no Nobel. But since it is making headlines, one must question the merit of this title. Let me recap what Zelensky has done in the last 1 year. In December 2021, Zelensky was just another president, a comedian turned president. And then Russia attacked Ukraine and the country's president suddenly found himself in the spotlight. He wasted no time in putting himself in front of the camera. And that is where he has been ever since. One day he is posing with troops, the next day with people on the streets, the day after he is in front of a webcam addressing some summit or some event. In July, Zelensky took his love for the camera to a new height. He posed for Vogue, you know, the fashion magazine. Ukraine's president was on this magazine's cover page. This was at a time Ukrainian towns were falling to Russia one after another. Where was the president? He was posing in front of sandbags and devastation. Did this absurdity check the box for Person of the Year, or was it what happened behind the scene video? The same question being asked about that as well. Take a look. One can't help but ask, what has Zelensky really done ever since the war started? Except run a brilliant PR campaign backed by the West. This Ukrainian president seems to have become a tool for American interests. He is a good orator, given his experience as a comedian. Zelensky also knows how to connect with his audience. He also knows a bit of acting. What's more, he is standing up to the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, the macho Russian leader. Volodymyr Zelensky is everything a brilliant PR campaign needs, and he is doing a pretty good job as fronting this very campaign. Zelensky wears olive green t-shirts every day to bring this aura of a war hero. He appears on TV, speaks to the media every other day without fail. Zelensky has been giving interviews to channels across the world, speaking at every possible global forum. The US Congress, the EU Parliament, the UN, the World Economic Forum, you name it, and Zelensky has addressed it in the last 9 months. There is no doubt that he is helping the West win the PR war against Russia. But I'll tell you the bitter truth. PR campaigns don't win wars. The people of Ukraine are still being killed. They are living without water, without electricity, without the internet. The war has made Volodymyr Zelensky an internet hero, but it is the people of Ukraine who are paying the price of this war. Is it this irony that checked the box for Person of the Year, or is it something else? Because if you talk of achievement, Zelensky does not have much to brag about. Time talks about influence on world events. Forget a NATO membership, Zelensky has not even been able to secure an entry pass to the European Union for Ukraine. The war has now entered its 288th day. The word is the West is pushing for a negotiation. US President Joe Biden has openly said he is open to sitting down with Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin has also replied saying Putin also remains open to talks. So what's stopping them? What is coming in the way of peace? But the word also is that Zelensky does not want to negotiate. And I wonder why. Is it because the war helps him stay a hero, win more such titles? Vogue called him the portrait of bravery. The Time is now calling him the Person of the Year. Another year and Zelensky may land the Nobel Peace Prize. His brand wins, as does Western propaganda against Putin. But where does it leave the people of Ukraine? Without power, heat, water, fancy cover shoots, and titles to brag about. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.